Hey folks, welcome to verifiedinvesting.com. My name is Gareth Soloway, Chief Market Strategist here. Now in today's video, we're going to take a look at oil. Number one, how did I know a big breakout like this was going to come at the start of January? We'll look at the charts. Number two, now that it's broken out and we're now up about 50% since the start of the year, where am I looking to short oil? Based on what's going on geopolitically. Now, this is really interesting because this is going to delve into human psychology in terms of trading, and it's unbelievably a good educational piece for all of you. Let's get right into the charts here and take a look. Here's your move on oil. So let's go revisit my bullish call end of year. I said oil would be one of the best, if not the best performing assets to start the first half of 2026. That came from this pattern formation. This is what we call a wedge pattern. And this wedge pattern was taking into account the squeeze that was going on. Now, what do I mean by the squeeze? Well, essentially notice these highs, right? So you have these highs, and then notice how price was getting drilled down into the lows and then moving back up here, chopping along here, retesting, coming back in, testing the lows. And then it kind of came up and made this bullish pattern just at the start of January. Now, it wasn't just this pattern formation. It was also understanding that money rotates. So we had seen a massive surge in silver that continued into January before the big correction. And that, again, knowing how institutional money works, money from institutions, I'm talking about them investing money from billionaires and 100 millionaires, etc. They don't like to pull the money out and just put it in cash, right? Why? Why not? Well, because they make fees. When it's invested, they make fees. They get 2 and 20. 2% is their basic fee that covers their costs. 20% of profits is what they make. So if they have it sitting in cash, they're basically not making any money. They're paying their bills. And so ultimately, you have to know that institutions want to take money, go find another asset that has not run, and put it in there. And the thought process was, oil was trading at multi-year lows, right? If we go back to the chart here and you go back on this, I mean, look at this. You have to go back to COVID. The COVID collapse was the last time we were trading down here. Now, contrast that with silver that was like way up here, gold way up here, copper way up here, stock market way up here, right? And so you have to understand that it's not so much a matter of belief in an asset. It's about also having it in something when money is moving into other assets. What is left to run? All right. If you have 3 assets and 1 and 2 run, the logic dictates number 3 runs. Now you could say, well, how did you know about the war? Well, honestly, I didn't know about the Iran and US conflict and military action. But the idea too is that there are people out there that can draw that line, connect those dots. And essentially they're saying to themselves is that, okay, so we have inflation that's been at, basically averaging since COVID, probably 6% or 7%. If you factor that in, I mean, think about this. If you look at oil has had no inflation impact because it's trading at levels from 5 years ago. So if you just add in an indexed move on oil of 5% or 6% per year, oil should naturally be in the $70 range just to be keeping pace with inflation. All right. But then also going back to the military action, you have to understand is that there are people in the know. And that's why the charts are so important for us. There are people in the know that knew this was a highly likely scenario. People that are way above my pay grade, higher in the military, higher in the government, higher in the CEO realm of the major oil companies. And they already know. They already know that this is a good possibility. And so when they look at these things like not only the chart condensing, but the inflation adjusted price being so low, they say, listen, the odds are, and remember, everything I do is based on odds. The odds are that there was a better than 50% chance of a military action with Iran, right, coming to a head. And by that formation, if you have these other factors that have compressed oil already and should push it up, it makes sense. And so smart money was going into oil here. And I saw that in the chart. And that's what the chart was really showing us, right? This beautiful condensation at the lows, like here, when every other asset was at ridiculous levels, inflation adjusted, moves up like crazy, oil was down here. Now, we got the breakout. Awesome. Okay. Oil again rallying from the recent lows. Let's do a little note here and just see from this low to the recent highs, 40%, almost 50%, right? Now, am I looking to short it right now? No, but I am if we get above $80 a barrel. Now, you might say, Gareth is crazy. Why would he think about shorting it? This could be the beginning of World War III. This could spread. I mean, what's happening there is your gambler's mind is taking over, right? The idea is we have three minds. We have the verified trader mind, which is always logical, okay? Always looking at charts, numbers, and probabilities. And then you have gambler's mind on one side, and you have survival mind on the other. Survival mind is when you're down on a trade and you're just like praying. You know, you're literally looking to a higher being to bail you out. You're panicking. You're fearful. You ultimately sell at the lows. Gambler's mind is saying, oh, but what if? What if this happens? What if that happens? You know, all these kind of crazy things that our mind plays on us, right? What if this envelops? What you have to do is you have to bring yourself and ground yourself back in verified mindset. So number one, you go to the charts to do that. And the charts here, if we look at it, it's not to say we can't go through $80. So my level's around $80.60, this pivot high. All right. We could easily go to 87. We could go all the way up to 95. So number one, a strategy is employed, right? So what I do is I would say, okay, well, I will do a 1/4 position size here. Okay. Now, number one, that leaves me maneuverability. So the mindset of a retail investor is I'm going to play this level because I'm going to be 100% right. And therefore, I have to put all my money in. I'll leverage up. And what that does is, number one, I know I'm not all the time. My levels, I mean, listen, it's very rare I sell at the exact top and I buy at the exact low. I buy close usually, but not always at the lowest. And so I leave myself the ability right away. I go into a trade thinking I could be wrong. And that enables me to buy less, which makes me make more. Why does it make me make more when I'm only buying a 1/4 position size? Well, because when it goes against me, you know what I get to do? I get to say, okay, well, now we're at the next level. We're at $84.54. Then at the next level, right? So ultimately, what it allows me to do is DCA as long as my thesis is still there, right? And so we get to punch that in, right? And we do that. And we say, okay, well, now we have another 1/4 position size, right? And then we go up here and we say, okay, it's now at the next level. And we can say another 1/4 position size, right? And let's say it goes up here, another 1/4 position size. The point is you dollar cost average. And now you start to say, okay, how many brick walls can oil get through? Well, depending on how crazy the war gets. But then you have to also say there's midterm elections coming up. And it's going to be very advantageous to not let oil get very high before November. In fact, I would almost say that oil will be lower in November by the time the midterms come, right? And so the idea here is that you have to understand that aspect of it. You have to understand where the president's coming from and what they're trying to achieve here. And that is the kicker here. All right. So number one, you're using the technical levels to DCA in. Number two, you're also combining logic, understanding how the whole system works with the November elections coming up and how that's all going to likely play out. And you're starting to find yourself, if logic is in your mind, the verified trader's mindset is being used, you're starting to formulate probabilities. Now, probabilities are important because number one, they're not always right. So there's always a chance I could be wrong. Maybe oil goes to $120. Maybe it goes to $150. But also, the U.S. produces more oil than it even needs. We are a net exporter of oil. So even if it goes to craziness over there, if the U.S. wanted to, it could shut down exports and just have enough oil here. So that also caps oil prices. You see what I'm trying to get at? So you have on one side the retail investor who's going to be like, oh my goodness, World War III. Oh my goodness, this could be really crazy. I'm going to let my emotion and my, like I saw this movie on Netflix the other day and it's going to just, and it was the end of the world and all these type of things. Well, first of all, it's the end of the world, not going to matter anyways, right? Whether you're making money or losing money in the markets. But the key here is, again, is that's emotion, that's gambler's mind, that's craziness. And you want to ground yourself in logic. And logic is where it comes to fruition, where, again, you won't always be right. I certainly am not always right. You guys know that. But can we all look at me and say, Gareth's about 70% right, maybe 80%? So 8 out of 10 times. Yeah, I think that's fair. Per my track record, right, which is open to the public. You can go see it on the website for stocks and commodities, for crypto, for everything, ETFs, etc. And so that's the kicker, is that I'm always grounding it in that function. And so again, this video is obviously about where I'm looking to short. I'm going to start a short position here. I'll add here, and I'll still have another add up here if it gets there. I don't expect it to, but just in case, you want to err on the side of caution. Number two, you have all the other factors there. So while I was able to call this breakout, I would also call that if in the summer months, the driving season, we get up into this range, let's say the conflict's still raging, at that point, then we start to see a pullback. And by the way, remember that just yesterday, the president said that he was going to guarantee the ships going through the Straits of Hormuz, right? And the whole idea is he's already showing his hand. He's already saying that I do not want oil prices to get that high. And so if they continue up, he will do other things. He'll release from the strategic reserve. There's so many other things that he can do. In any case, let's quickly look at natural gas here, guys. That was a good deep dive there, a masterclass on oil and psychology. Natural gas, again, I was long here. We exited right up in this range. So that was a nice little trade with members. If you're my commodity service, Smart Money Commodities and Miners. Now it's coming back in. I'm not going to buy until we get a little bit lower. The idea is I have this level down here. This would be my starter position. I would probably do a quarter position size right here. And then I'd be looking at some of these lower levels down in this range to do a little bit more. But right now, this would be my first entry, at least as of this point. You could say, well, what if it goes up here? Well, then I missed the trade, right? Okay, no big deal. There's another trade coming around the corner. Like every day I'm trading, whether it's day trades or swing trades, there's always another trade. So that's the beauty of it. As a technician, as a chartist, as a logic-based trader, you always remember there's another trade. And so that keeps you more disciplined at your entry prices because it grounds you in basically, if it doesn't get to my level, who cares? Because I'm a disciplined and I only want to buy it at that level. And ultimately, if I miss it, there's another trade coming around the corner. And that's the essence of it. All right. You guys go have a great day, folks, today. Go make some money in the markets. You guys know logic, charts, no BS here. It is what it is. I tell it like I see it. Have a great one, guys. Take care.